now I am going to get to the glyph that if you glyph this, I will probably have to come find you and kill you. In addition to inner fire being the glyph that has to be deleted from the memory banks of the entire universe, Glyph of levitate should also be deleted from the memory banks of the entire universe. Glyph of levitate. So, I tried this once because what I did was, and I'll just say, Glyph of levitate increases your movement speed while levitating and for 10 seconds afterward by 15%. 15%, right? Okay, well, we just looked at Inner Sanctum. It does 16%. So if you want a speed movement increase, this one will do 16%, and this one will do 15%. 16%, 15%, 16. You get the idea what I'm saying here, right? I'm saying that there's no reason for this to exist. Now, maybe you like levitating. That's cool. If you like levitating, that's fine. I'm levitating and I have this Path of the Devout. Movement speed increase by 15%. But when I go into inner will, so the 15% is better than the 10%. So I'm still moving at 15%. Where's my speed? I have to go up here and or in my character. Current speed. 115%. Alright. So it doesn't matter whether I'm in inner will or inner fire. So that would be the benefit. So now you can finally have 1% less speed boost and be an inner fire at the same time. Because that's what we've always needed. We've always needed to be an inner fire and be able to be have 15% movement increase. And then when I cancel levitate, notice it's counting down because it's 10 seconds after. It continues to do it, but that doesn't matter because I can re-levitate and it comes back on again. So it's really 100% uptime. Only if you're stupid would it not be 100% uptime if you needed it. What about the feather? It boosts me to 60%. The Path of the Devout isn't, it doesn't stack. See, my speed is 160. Now it's back to 115. Now it's 160. It's not 175. These things don't stack. Alright, well, so maybe you're going to not take one of these speed boosting talents. Maybe you're in PvP and you're going to take Phantasm. I actually tried this. I took Phantasm because I wanted to see if it was super awesome in PvP. And by doing that, I had no speed boost like this. And I wanted to have the ability to at least run a little faster because in PvP that is nice. So I took this glyph. And it was kind of sad. It was just sad. I was going like this thinking, is this really that much faster? And, you know, you still get death gripped. You still, I mean, people are still catching up to you because everyone else now has all kinds of sprints. So this isn't fast enough to really do anything to get away. Really, it's just has no point. There's no purpose to it. Glyph of levitate is a waste of space in the universe, and it wasted time on this video, and I will kill you if you use Glyph of levitate because it's pointless. I'm a disc priest, can't use these. Mass dispel. Okay, dispels are on an 8-second cooldown. Interrupts, everyone's got interrupts, but they all have cooldowns now. And when you interrupt, you have to be careful what you're interrupting because you're going to go on cooldown with your interrupts. So I don't really see the need to glyph mass dispel in PvP. In PvE, there might be a particular need to do it. I can't do that while moving at 15% speed. Oh, by the way, when you change your glyphs, your current thing doesn't go away. I don't know if you noticed that, but I no longer have the path of the devout. I reglyphed to something else, but I still have the path of the devout buff. Um, yep. So there you go. If my levitate goes away, it'll last for 10 seconds and it'll go, and then when I re-levitate, it won't come back again because I don't have it. But yeah, glyphs only affect future casts. They don't affect current things that you have. So if you're just out somewhere and you don't have a speed boost, you can glyph it and then unglyph it again. I don't know, but you have to spend one of your Tome of the Clear Minds on it. But Mass Dispel also is very expensive. 39,000 mana out of my 300,000 mana. That's a lot. That's a ton of mana. You don't want to be spamming it. Ooh, I want it to be... well, you can't spam it anyway because it's got a cooldown, 15 seconds. Remember, Dispels have cooldowns now. 15 seconds for this one. Purify is 8 seconds. So I would say, due to the limited glyph space we have, get used to not using Glyph of Mass Dispel. You really don't need it. I already went over the Glyph of Penance, the Glyph of Power Word Shield. Let me demonstrate before I glyph it. So if I shield myself, boink, 74467. Let's go into Inner Fire and try that again. When my weakened soul is up. 7979K. Alright, so the Glyph of Power Word Shield will take 20% of the 79K and convert it into a heal. So instead of shielding someone for 79K, maybe you want to reduce it by 20% and heal them instantly. Let's see now. Oh look, 14.8K, and now this only absorbs 59. So 79 to 59. 79 to 59, and I got an instant 14K, 14.8K heal. 14.8 and 59. You know, I don't know. I don't think it's very good. I'll tell you, it was kind of nice having the buff on the Power Word Shield as a Holy Priest. If you're refreshing Renew, you can shield someone and the heal from it will refresh Renew. I don't really know exactly what having an upfront heal is useful for, because you can Power Word Shield somebody, then Renew, and then, you know, they're not taking damage and you're healing, or just Power Word Shield and then penance them, or, you know, something. So no, if you want to, but no. Prayer of Mending, this may be nice to have because it increases the first bounce by 60%. So in PvP, you're going to be using Prayer of Mending a lot because it's an instant cast. This may be useful. I can't demonstrate it because I'd have to be taking damage. I guess I can, well, no, I'm not going to do it, because I can't even use my Shadow Word Death to create damage on myself because it's not glyphed. And there are no dummies that are below 20%. This one's at exactly 50%. I'm not sure why 50%. But we don't have any abilities that kick in at 50. We need a 20% dummy. No 20% dummies. Alright. Psychic Scream will make your Psychic Scream and Psi Fiends fear effect, cause them to tremble in place instead of fleeing. This really is kind of like a quality of life improvement. It's not really going to improve or have a negative aspect. Psychic Scream glyph, in my opinion, should be down here in this section called minor glyphs. That's really not something I would want to waste a glyph on. If I needed something that didn't cause somebody to go fearing and terror in, say, PvE, I wouldn't pick it. Okay, I wouldn't pick it. I would pick something else because I'm not using it, or I just wouldn't cast it. If it's going to cause them to flee in terror, then just don't press that button. Just don't get yourself into that nonsense of a mess. But don't glyph it, because it's a waste of a glyph space. Alright. Purify will heal your target that you successfully dispelled a magical effect or disease effect off of for 3% of maximum health. Our health pools are getting bigger. Mine's 370k. So I can't demonstrate it because I don't have anything to dispel off of me. Anyway, Reflective Shield. This one might actually be better than this Glyph of Power Word Shield, because as you saw with Inner Fire, my shield was 79k, and I'm sure with more spell power I'll get it up to 80 or more. Imagine having a 80k plus shield, Power Word Shield, where 45% of that, 40k, will be reflected back to the attacker. That's pretty nice. Against rogues, that's nice. It breaks them out of stealth, things like that, unless they're glyphed, or not glyphed, but talented into not breaking out of stealth, so I don't know. Renew heals for 33% more each time it heals, but its duration is reduced by 3 seconds. This can also be considered a PvP glyph because, as a PvP healer, you want to be able to instantly heal, which Renew is an instant, and you want to be able to instantly heal for as much as possible. My Path of the Devout is now going away. The glyph is gone, and the buff is almost gone. It's gone. Can I levitate again? Yes, but I don't get the buff. Glyph of Levitate has now left the entire universe behind. It's no longer going to be in our memory banks. Back to Renew. Renew. 20. Wow, that was a crit there. 10. 10. So as you see, the Glyph of Renew is giving you less ticks, but the ticks are bigger. And for a Disciplined Priest, we're a little bit have a benefit on our Renew. Holy Priests have a benefit on their Renew that it's stronger by 15% and has a shorter cooldown. We're better in the sense that our Renews, when they crit, actually activate our mastery, so you'll get a bubble. When a Holy Priest Renew crits, they do not get, their mastery does not proc. It's kind of unfair in a way, but oh well. Scourge Imprisonment reduces the cast time of your shackle by 1 second. You're not going to do that. I already went over Shadow Word Death. Yeah, you will. If you have a DK that's in his undead form. But otherwise not. Shadow Word Death is pretty good. This Smite is pretty good as an atonement healer. If you have the Glyph of Holy Fire, it's instant, and then you can immediately start casting smites and get as many smites in. Well, of course you could immediately anyway, but get as many smites in at 20% extra DPS. That creates 20% extra HPS. Holy Fire, 19, so with it up, 20, 21, 22. So now my smites with it off, 20, 40, 20, Here, let's turn these things off. You know, 20% isn't a huge difference, though. Let's put it on there. Alright, 24. Alright, let's see. Alright, 48. That was a good crit. 49. That was a good crit. 24. 24. And then 20. Okay. So there you see the difference between 20 and 24k. 20k normal, 24k's with the glyph. Is that really worth it? If you have nothing else to choose from, it is. The only reason why a lot of these glyphs get used, folks, I think is because there just really isn't anything good to use. So if there isn't anything good to use, then there's no reason to use it or not use it. I think they wanted to make it so that all glyphs were really a choice, a personal preference, but by making them completely just not really that great. A lot of these just aren't really that great. Some of these are good. Anyway, so those are the glyphs. What glyphs should you use? I'm not going to tell you because you have to decide for yourself. But like I said, I will kill you if you use the levitate glyph. I will kill you if you use this one. And I will kill you if you use the inner fire glyph. Because you're basically taking a glyph spot up and you're getting less of a benefit that another glyph will already give you more of a benefit of the same kind of benefit that you really want. And as glyph designers, that's a major failure on Blizzard's part, because glyphs should be unique abilities, and you shouldn't have all these glyphs that are almost like, well, this glyph gives me 5% speed boost, this glyph gives me 6%, this one's 7, this one's 8, this one's 9, and then this one's 10. And I can choose from those 5 glyphs, whichever one of them I want. Why would you ever choose any one other than the 10% one? I don't know. They're just waste of glyph space. Otherwise, it's situational. If you're on a capture the flag PvP board or whatever, you might want Holy Nova. It's easy to tag multiple targets if you're not sure who is. They're all around the flag, and you can't just sit there and start using your Shadow Word Pain on everybody because you're just going to go out of mana. If there's only one person there, yeah, that works, but you want to be able to AoE the flag. AoE the flag. And you can Mind Sear the flag. That does work fairly well. You can't actually target the flag. You'd have to target somebody, but so you could get used to using that instead of Holy Nova. But that's 9,000, and Holy Nova I think was around 5,000 something. So, and in Inner Fire it works as a, well, does this get reduced? Nope, 9,000. 9,000. So, channeled spells are not benefiting from Inner Fire or Inner Will for some reason. 5-4. 5-4. Holy Fire isn't either. Bummer. So you're really taking Holy Fire for the ability to instant cast and cast on the move. Not because you're going to be able to reduce its mana by switching over into Inner Will. But it's nice to be able to move and be able to cast like that. And then Penance. And then little heals go out at the same time. So, this is Penance one is, you know, if you really enjoy playing that way, you can use this. The Holy Fire one, and then the third one, I would say just pick what you really need. This Fade one isn't bad though. To be able to every 30 seconds you get 10 seconds reduced, 10% reduced damage. So this might be pretty good. Holy Fire, Penance, and Fade. Uh, if you are worried more about being able to cast, then you're going to want to take the inner focus glyph. Except, as I said, one of its benefits, the protection from dispel, I don't know if Blizzard realizes or not, but that benefit has been somewhat nerfed, and it's not quite as good as it used to be. You want dispel protection for 10 seconds, not 5 seconds. Alright, so there's your Glyph-orama, Discipline Priest, Glyph review. There are tons of them. It took forever to get through it. I don't know why there are so many. Like I said, they just have glyph after glyph after glyph of things that are just so similar to something else. Movement speed, movement impairment, a little bit of movement speed here. This one, levitate, a little bit of movement speed. Inner will, a little bit of movement speed. Leap of faith, clear movement impairing effects. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that, why don't they just combine them into one glyph and let us take them all, or just get rid of them and make one glyph that works fairly well at doing what we want it to do. So there you have it. That's it.